Yes, 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 y'all. I had to play a little bit of gospel song to get me in the mood to play the rest of the ANJA Africa's report to us about the stalking being done to diasporans and the beware caution that she has brought forth to us in relation to the Gambia, where she is now staying. And she's claiming that this stalking is being done and supported by the community. It was a whole lot for me to swallow and listen to. It was a lot of information that she just like coughed out. And I wanted to take a couple of days off to let my mind rest and get rid of my headache and come back again in hopes to have a fresher ear so that I can be able to cope and give a better commentary, because the first time I was really caught off guard. A lot of this stuff I didn't hear, and I didn't hear the rest of this towards the end. So you're gonna get my reaction and response because I haven't heard it. But anyways, here is the rest of what she had to say. I left off where she was talking about the crow, as far as I can remember. And then I wanted to follow up. For those that are in the clouds, if you have not yet, please like the video. Also share and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. I'm sorry that this is kind of grainy, but her picture is not that great because she's in the Gambia, and that's why. Let's go.
Ain't looking to be built. They looking to take everything you have.
Okay, so let me go back just a little smidget. She's talking about the ones that are looking for love in all the wrong places. You can come and look for love in the Gambia, but those people are pretty much looking for your money and your resources and whatever is attached to you. That's the warning that she's giving. Let's listen.
Because we have no idea coming from the West. We think magic is, oh, you kissed a frog and it turned into a prince. Right? Or you get a builder boyfriend. You want to take somebody from the mud and you want to build them up to their greatness. It's so much more than that, because folks ain't looking to be built. They looking to take everything you have. And if you behave, you might, be able to remain around as a bonus. But it's deep. It's deep, y'all. I'm telling you. Is deep. I cannot find this picture, but I am going to do a community post, and I'll have to pull it from the file on my laptop and I'll explain this to y'all. One of the ways that you stop these people from having access to you and block their energy is to delete their phone numbers, their pictures, anything associated with them off of your phone and your devices. Anything they might have given you that they used, get it out of your home. I remember I was going to clean the living room and it was some pillows on the floor, and I picked up the pillows, and what did I see with the pillows? I saw a watch and 2 lighters, and I was like, why would a watch and 2 lighters be tucked behind the couch? What is that? I said, no, this fool trying to cast a spell, and he don't put a time limit on the watch. Like, this has to happen within a certain time. So people think you're not paying attention. I've always been like a little Blue's Clues, right? I love hitting word searches and doing and breadcrumb stuff. Like, I give me some hints and I already know what time it is. Like, people didn't like going to the movies with me because I done told you the whole movie after just looking at the first few minutes. But I didn't realize that was a gift at the time. I'm thinking everybody does this. So I realize now God has me, he has me here for this reason. You hear the crow? I don't know if y'all heard that crow. They got the birds coming to my windows, monitoring. Like, they literally will come up to the window and just be staring in. Ain't no bread on my windowsills, but these are monitoring spirits, but we don't know nothing about that. I don't bother with the monitoring spirits because I want them to know I am doing well and thriving. And I have no problems with nature. Some people would be scared, but it wasn't about being scared, but it was about, I need to tell our people what's going on. Yes, exactly.
And this is not the first time that I've heard crows. I remember Dr. Mambe is another person who practices with dark magic. I remember she had mentioned that she had an encounter with a warlock or something in the dark magic, and that person was trying to take her life or made her change her life and made her submit to some type of agreement or something, to where what she's doing there in Kenya, she feels is full of spirituality and God, but I have a suspicion that it's delving with dark magic. Dr. Mambi, she has a popular YouTube where she talks about so-called spirit stuff. And yeah, she kind of like gave a little bit of a couple of stories, and crows were crowing. The same thing that's happening right now with ANJA Africa, the same type of thing. And she noticed the crows as well and would stop and said, what are these crows doing? And I remember the crows were so out of control with Dr. Mambi, she kind of like stopped taping for a little bit to let the crows kind of subside. But yeah, I think crows mean something in the spirit realm. I'm not quite sure what it means, but there's too many coincidences involving crows. Let's listen.
I'm reading the one from UK Parents, yes. So for those of you who don't know, my dad is from, his people, my paternal family is from Barbados. So I am Bajan, and I'm also Indigenous American, right? My mom's people are Gullah Geechees from South Carolina. So they have a connection to Sierra Leone. So my mom's side, 100% Mende from Sierra Leone. But before that, great-grandparents, Indigenous Americans, right? I even have my great-grandfather from Barbados. My grandmother was Portuguese. So we have quite a mixture in the family. But as you know, all of those cultures had some type of hoodoo, voodoo. You know, I don't really like when people say black magic, because all black magic isn't bad. It's the people that's using the magic that's doing these dark things to people, right? Because we know that our people have fought battles using this kind of magic. When we talk about Nani and all these other folks, we know they use magic and everything else to defeat troops from Europe. And so I'm not going to say that it's black magic. I'm going to say that there's wicked people doing things they shouldn't be doing to control people. And here, someone like you and you don't like them, they will cast a spell on you. You come outside in a nice dress and somebody is envious of that dress, they're going to cast a spell on you. If mama died and left some property and she didn't give them the property, they casted a spell on you. If your kids is smarter than my kids and they're going off to Europe for education, they casting a spell on you. I'm serious. I've been the gift, once I said again, one of the gifts that God has given me, a lot of times, one of the assignments I have is that no child will be left behind. So I tend to notice things on the children. So, you know, a lot of the moms, they have the babies on their backs, and I will see the baby on their back, and the baby will have a horrible rash that look like psoriasis or something. And I would say to the mom, you know, what are you doing for her skin? And mom said, oh, it's just the heat. I said, sweetie, that's not just the heat. Like, it's bloody. You know, the baby is suffering. What are you doing? Are you using aloe vera? Are you keeping it dry? You know, don't use perfume, soap, all this kind of stuff. I would tell them, come to the clinic. We can give you some herbal bath that you can use for the baby, dry her off well. You know, so the mom will come with the child, and after talking to the mother, we realize somebody put something on the mother. And so when she breastfeeds the child, it comes out as a rash on the baby.
From how she's explaining it, it seems that everybody has something to do with black magic in the Gambia on one level or another, from dealing with babies, from dealing with love affairs, from dealing with monies, from dealing with trying to get people to give up their information or whatever. She's making it seem like it's in every aspect of everything going on in the Gambia. And that's just like, whoa. I do understand that there are other religions or other things that people in the Gambia also practice, maybe trying to be Muslim. I'm not sure how many are Muslim or even Christian, but she's making it seem like it's more of a black magic environment culture. So I'm not quite sure if someone could answer that is aware of which ones are more prominent or not. Maybe you know, Kiki, which ones are more prominent, but she's making it seem like it's more or less witchcraft and black magic. Let's go.
Going back to what I said about when it's good, it's God. When it's bad, it's that demon.
That crow that we're hearing will not let up on her for 1 second. It keeps crowing, y'all. I really know and feel that the crow is crowing for a reason. Do you know why the crow is crowing? If you have an inkling of a clue, Kiki, if you have been studying up on the meaning of crows, I do know that certain symbols exist, certain signs, I guess, come about, and they might have some spiritual significance, meaning. I'm just not aware of what it is at this point. Let's go.
Them rashes, them sicknesses, the dis-ease in the body, the inflammation, all of that, that's the devil, period. It's a spirit. I never knew this stuff. So I started looking into marine spirits, demon spirits, jinns and spells and curse. And this is a big part of this life. This is what TikTok is about. I just discovered, why is it coming out now at this age that I am a survivor of a demonic ritual? Why would that come out now after all this time? Because God wants me to let everybody know that all them babies that y'all see people showing their babies on TikTok. And as much as we say, stop showing your children on TikTok. There's pedophiles out here. Guess what? All of them babies are part of these demonic rituals. It's not the baby's fault. It's the parents. The parents are using the babies in these demonic sex rituals to get wealth and fortune. If you look,
no, this is the same video that I didn't complete because I stopped around the 45-minute mark. So I just went back a couple of minutes and I'm carrying forward from that point on, but I haven't heard this portion of the video. So this is like the first time that she's talking about this other stuff right here. But you said this might be giving her confirmation for what she's saying, or it could be trying to be a warning. Yeah, it does feel like a little bit of both. It does feel like, because the crow is still crowing as she's speaking on. So it could be like, what she's saying right here, take heed. What she's saying has got some validity in it. And also, to her, you're treading into the unknown as far as how you're telling and shelling out all this information. You're upsetting different spirits that is on her or around her, or people that might be upset about listening to what she's saying. I'm pretty sure that the people in the Gambia are not smiling listening to this video. Hearing this video has really got them cringeworthy. And it's very interesting how nobody has talked about this video yet except for me and Kiki. I mean, not nobody from the Gambia. Like no other Pan-African has talked about. Well, Happy Companion talked about it too. Happy Companion Kiki and I. But what about the Gambians? Shouldn't they feel some kind of way about what's being stated here? She is virtually attacking the culture, to me, of the Gambia as far as this black magic, as her expose. So to me, she's not shedding this in a good light. She's shedding it in a very inflammatory light, a light that is dauntingly like scary. Like, let's go.
Look at these babies. Yesterday, I made a comment. There was one baby, and y'all could look it up. The video was called "The Parents Get the Birthmark Removed from the Baby's Head." And so I looked at this video, and before they remove the birthmark, I can see the energy is right on the baby's third eye. It's a huge brown birthmark. I can see the priest molesting the baby in the birthmark. Y'all know we say babies don't talk. No, they don't talk, but they have energy, and they store that trauma in their bodies. So God has given me the gift to look at these babies and see exactly what was done to them. So I'm looking at all these TikTok babies, and they all got that energy of being molested. Their parents have used them. Because think about it. How does a little unattractive baby have 47 million views on TikTok? What is that? You got people out here talking about God, and they don't have 47 million views. You got these people out here for all fans, and they done got 47 million views, but one baby? It's because the parents are using that demonic energy to cast spells. Y'all hear the crow? I'm going to tell y'all, whenever I talk about demons and what the devil is doing, the crows start, or some loud music will come. Y'all hear? I know you got to hear this. It's loud. This is what they do. They don't want me giving this message, but I give it anyway. I'm
not close to being monetized. That's what made this other video that I did a few days ago kind of suspicious, because I don't have 1,000. I'm not even trying to be monetized, and yet I get a warning or an email claiming that, my video is not going to be monetized, and that I needed to make some adjustments because they were pretty much blocking the video in all the countries except for one. And I was like, what? I've never been monetized. I'm not close to being monetized. YouTube is playing games. Like, people are just making up stuff. But yeah, like right now while I'm doing this live, Kiki, I'm hearing some fucking Christmas music. Someone is at a fucking corner singing some damn Christmas fucking music. I can't stand Christmas music. So there's nothing but the devil. You said, was it a privacy complaint? No, it wasn't a privacy complaint. It was just saying that I think that one of the songs that I played towards the end was supposedly copywritten. I think the OJ's song, Money, 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 or For the Love of Money, but it was the lyrics only. So I don't know why it was considered copywritten. I think it was just an excuse that they were using. But speaking about monetization, and I'm not even close to 1,000, I don't have enough watch hours or nothing like that. It's weird. You said, okay, yeah, it is. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so let me get back to her. I can't believe someone just busted out playing some damn carols at the damn corner. It's so annoying.
It's trippy. I'm telling you, it's trippy. On my other channel, Spirit Knocks for Brooklyn Mosaic, I put all of the information about spiritual journeys, spiritual awakening, what to look out for in this lifetime. Because in 2023, going into 2024, honey, these demons done stepped up their game. They trying to take out all the chosen ones. They trying to take out the light workers.
The devil is definitely working hard over time to set up a lot of people. I think this is the season to really scam and in debt and bankrupt a lot of people. This is the doggy dog world of the time that we are living in. And for people to just pretend like being black skin is all you need to get along, as if all the corruption and all the backstabbing ways and all the lies and all the manipulations and all the scams and all the greed is just going to all go away because we all acknowledge ourselves as being black. That is, again, the stupidity of pan-Africanism. It's the stupidity of people trying to tell us to believe in a falsehood that is not real, but that is the playground for the devil to come along and devise his plans and set us up and make us comfortable, make us trustworthy, and make us give our all to unworthy people. Try out things that you wouldn't necessarily try out if you had a brain, if you thought about it. But people use emotionalism and they use this thing called unity, talking about pan-Africanism and talking about blackness and all these stupid little key phrases as if they're a stickler for all of us to change and collectively be honorable, loving, law-abiding, decent people. That's not the reality of what the world works with and how the world is running. It's very wicked. It's very rare to see decency. It's very obvious to see indecency and people just acting a plumb fool or acting wicked. And all these other things that they're bringing to the table, to the forefront, that we're witnessing every day that we turn around. We look at the news, we look at YouTube, we listen to stories, we hear all these different crimes, all these horrendous deaths and murders and all these things that are happening. And yet people are trying to tell us to keep the faith and have this belief in unity and blackness. It's the biggest joke and lie that's been told to our community that has got a lot of people really dumb as fuck and on the verge of being retarded. Let's go.
Now, all of us, because we are all of those things. Some of us just haven't tapped into our abilities, or we are scared of our abilities. Okay? So we have to be aware. And for anybody coming here, I don't care if it's a single man, a single woman, y'all need to be prepared. Be prepared. I'm stay prayed up. I don't care what your faith is. Because these people that I have dealt with marabou from, they are Christians, honey. They are Muslim. They drop into their knees and they pulling out their mats, and their religions don't have nothing to do with their spiritual stuff. That's a whole nother dark entity. Right? Two separate things.
So in other words, she's saying that they're using the religion to cover up what they really do behind the scenes with their spirituality. I get it. So she's saying they're coming in the mask of a Muslim, of a Christian, but they're really practicing black magic. Now that sounds about right there. You said, now that's true. That seems like it's about right. So they have a facade. They don't want to come out the woodwork and say, hey, I practice black magic. I'm a warlock. I'm a witch. I'm related to these people that do these things, that sacrifice these things. And we believe in doing these type of potions or casting spells or curses. They're not going to come out and say that for the most part. What they're going to do is pretend to be as normal as we perceive normal to be, which is the typical thinking of, religion, Christianity, which we do know it was barbaric and it still is barbaric. But for some reason, we have this thought of Christianity kind of being a little bit more cleaner than other religions. And then the Muslim faith, devout Muslims, praying 5 times a day. I just learned from Happy Companion for the first time that they use their prayers to pray away their frauds and scams and tricks and crimes that they do to different people accordingly. They use their prayers to clean up their different sins that they do, and they pray it away. It's very interesting. So there's a lot of fakery going on, in other words, is what she's trying to describe in the Gambia. People are not what they seem to be. They're portraying themselves in one light, but they're really about that other life. Let's listen.
Subscribe to any religions. I respect that. I'm actually reading the Quran now, reading the Bible at the same time. But you don't have to be in a religion to have your relationship with God. Y'all hear these crows? I'm telling you, they mad. They don't like when I talk about this stuff. Out of nowhere, they will come and sit right on my balcony and start with the corn. Like she talking, she telling, you know. And I'm like, let them call, because I have to let y'all know. I want you to be safe. I don't want people to come here and find themselves in situations and just kind of be clueless. Because we come here all enamored, you know, just like I did. My rose-colored glasses. I'm like, I love Gambia. I want to be here, and I do love it. I love the environment. But there is a subculture that we are not aware of. And the community knows what's going on.
I remember when she was so enamored with the Gambia. I remember she had an issue, though, with her son, who got pulled over by the customs, international customs or something like that. And they were looking in his baggage or whatever and kind of holding him back from being processed through. And she had some words, I guess, about what was going on. And this customs guy had taken her information, her ID information, and then she said something to the fact that she had paperwork that she was filling out, and that she was hopeful to get this information back, and somehow it was gone from the office. I remember her saying something like some information that she had put out there that she felt like she got, that this other person took from her, of her information, her personal information. And something happened with her son, but then, you know, they finally got home and safe and sound, and then she came back her own self to the Gambia. So this is her go around without her son, and she's having all these weird encounters. I really think that, you know, she is being brave, though, to be fair, and being bold enough to say what she's saying, even if it is a little bit off kilter. I believe a lot of it, she is meaning to tell us what it is that she's trying to say, and I'm starting to get it a little bit better. Basically, things are not what they seem. People are practicers of the black magic, and they're really into that life. And Kiki says it's more of a traditional family belief. A family, so it's not spiritual belief. It's a family belief, not spiritual. You said she is communing with the spirits, but she's not telling you all that. Yeah, I'm gathering she talks to a whole host of spirits. You said that was the quote, agreeing with what she said, because that's true. Yeah, I can't, knock her for some of the things that she's saying, because it does make sense. And I can see people being fake and how, people's look. People polish themselves up to look a certain way, to talk a certain way, to present themselves presentable. And a lot of people just stop right there. They don't go any further as far as questioning people, figuring out their intentions, figuring out their vibrations and what they're on and what they're into. They don't really try to go further. They just take by face value what they see and what they hear. And they believe what they see and hear. And that right there is why we are constantly getting tricked, tripped up, and dumbed down. Think about all the pastors, all the pimps, how they're dressed. And some of them are the most wretched people, including pastors and pimps. And they have a look about themselves, but they're predators, though. You have some good pastors, but you have plenty that are changing the game as far as religion, and it is not the way that it used to be. It has become very wicked and very man made for fitting the man, and have him like rule the church and him be exalted. It's not about God as much. So religion has changed, and church has changed as far as I remember. Hey, what's up, Limelight? How you doing? You said, I think she reached her limit. Yes, I think so too. You said she was probably trying to sugarcoat things originally. Then when she saw how too much bad shit was happening, she began to reevaluate her experiences. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So now I think when she first started telling the story, she was kind of sporadic and irrational and all over the place. I think now she's got her center, and she's not talking as, well, let's see if she continues talking this way. But right now she's making more sense than she has since she started speaking since the last video. Let's go.
Everybody just kind of moved like, I don't want no problems. I had a man come into the clinic. He was in a wheelchair. And I looked at him and I said, do you mind if I lift your pants leg? For me, I'm able to look in people's eyes, at their skin, their hands, and their feet. But for him, he had his feet covered. I said, do you mind if I look at your leg? So I had him lift his pants leg up to his knees. And I could see everywhere where this marabou that somebody put on him had paralyzed him and stopped him from moving. And every place I pointed to is where he told me his pain was. Excuse me. And I was able to see it. And I said to him, if you know it's marabou, why you don't come and you didn't let nobody help you? 14 years this man been in a wheelchair. He's scared to fight back. People are scared. They are scared if they fight back, the battle would be even worse. Or they are convinced, because it's part of the magic, that it's hopeless for them to fight back, but they have to accept it. See, that is the other thing about this magic. People will send chaos magic to you. You'll be wondering why you procrastinating, why you eating things you don't want to eat, why you kind of isolating, why you doing this. Like, it's not you, it's a spirit. It's a spirit. But we don't know that because we don't really deal with that. And when you're in the West, everything is so busy that you're not breaking up and down to a spirit. You want to give it a name. You want to call it anxiety. Right? We want to call it stress. It's a spirit. It's the spirit of stress. It's the spirit of anxiety. It's the spirit of disease. That's what it is. And so when we know that...
See, now she's making sense, because this I can relate to and I can follow. You know, there are, demonic entities that do work through people sometimes. And they create, in our life, different circumstances that may not be if they weren't around. If they weren't stirring the pot, if they weren't causing mischief, maybe at your job or maybe at your home, one of your kids are being mischievous with you on purpose, testing you, trying you. That spirit of trying you might be the spirit of, I don't know what kind of spirit it would be, just antagonizer, I guess, the antagonist, to see how far they can go before you break. And what will you do when you break? Those types of things. And so we have to understand that sometimes we have to check out and give ourselves me time and not let people overwhelm us with what they're going through and what they bring with them to our environment, especially if you have to deal with them. Sometimes you can avoid certain people and keep them away from your personal space and personal life, but others you can't do it so much. Others, you have to deal with them and get an understanding or something. You said rebellion. Okay, spirit of rebellion. Yeah, that makes sense too. You said, but we have to remember that we bring those spirits into our lives. They just can't come in. I think it's a little bit of both, Kiki, because I've seen certain circumstances with people that have happened that just was totally out the blue. And, you know, they were doing fine and great. And then they just fell off for one reason or another. Sometimes I think that it's just the way that the wheel of life turned sometimes. And then other times it's because someone wanted to be a thorn in your side. There are people that work to be a thorn to you, specific to you. I think that spirit is in certain people at certain times to really test us or break us or make us. Sometimes it makes you. Sometimes it makes you stronger. Sometimes it makes you overcome. Sometimes you won't overcome, and sometimes you will be broken down to the decimal of nothingness. So it really depends on what God is trying to allow to have happen. Sometimes he allows tests to happen. Sometimes, you know, you might feel like that test was a little bit too much. I have thought in my heart, in my mind, certain things that I've been through, like, why, God? It's like I never get a breather for too freaking long. Why can't I just get a year or two off, Lord? Why is it this thing? And then after this has gotten better, then this is happening and this is happening. And then it's like one thing after the next is like really, really mind-boggling sometimes. And you question God because the Bible claims that he will not give you more than you can handle. But surely I could not handle all the things in which I went through. I had a rough time. And a lot of people have a rough time. That's why they say a lot of the stuff in the Bible, it's hogwash in their mind. Because a lot of the stuff people are not handling. And, you know, people sometimes claim that they do handle stuff. I don't know. It just depends on the person, I guess. Or something else will come along, you mean? You said, Limelight says in the book of Luke, it says to have patience, for you will possess your soul, or something like that, which lets me know if you don't control your emotion, somebody else will. That's true. That is true. If you don't control that anger or that depression, if you allow people to really defeat you and make you depressed all the time, then that's another thing too. You said that's why you have to guard what you let in your life. Exactly. You have to really, really choose very carefully and watch people and question what they talk on and why they're talking. And, you know, I go through all that. I don't agree with everything people say in their platforms. Most of them I don't agree with it all the time, but there are tidbit conversations sometimes they may have that might benefit me for one reason or another. But if I was going off of people being perfect, I would not be on YouTube at all, because there's just so much that I don't agree with people. That's why I don't have a lot of friends, because I don't want to be bothered with a lot of bullshit and just scrambling all over the place for people that are foolish. I've given that type of lifestyle up. So you said be selective about who you let in your personal circle. Facts. That's what you got to do. So let's get back to her. I really feel like at this point she's dropping gems. This is coming up on coming up almost an hour. So she's about to wrap it up soon.
We know how to deal with it differently and try to push through it, because you're like, this is not my energy. Just keep it in mind. If it's not good, it's not God. period. If it's bad, then you know who it is. I used to think there was a gray area, right? It's not. It really isn't. And the only way we're going to survive this is by knowing it. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely proud to be a symbol. I like the name. I love all the names here. Very cool. It's so good to see you all. So I just wanted to come on because I was like, I have to come and talk about this. That individual, though, is manipulating people to do her dirty work. Yeah, she is manipulating people. And I just was like, I have to talk about this because this individual is stalking me now. He is following. He is sending people to follow me. And although I have cut off all ties, that energy is still trying to access my energy. So that's when we start to talk about spiritual ribbons and emotional cords and emotional ties. And for those people who don't understand that, that is when you may have ended a relationship a long time ago, but somebody keep thinking about you, thinking about you, thinking about you. That's them with an invisible spiritual ribbon still attached to you. You have to be the one to clip that. They're still trying to reach for your energy. And here, you seem like it's not a big deal. But in the spirit world, they're harvesting from you. Because as long as they stay attached to you like that, that energy will block you from moving on to anything else. You see how it works? So what is happening in the spiritual world has already happened before it got here. We thinking it's the opposite way. When you know that, you move differently. You taking your spiritual baths. You waking up with your prayers. You going to sleep with your prayers. Every time your hand touch water, you thanking God. Anything you put in your mouth, you're asking for God to bless it. Because you don't know who tried to tamper with it or whose hands was on it. Okay? So I was like, yeah, I'm going to come on and talk about this. And what can I say? I know going back to the States is going to be interesting. I have a couple of, what can I say? My dad's family been cursing me since I came out the womb. I'm the first grand, but somehow they must have done a reading on me. So they know that this destiny was planned for me and they felt like it should not have happened that way. I should not have been the one that was going to come into these gifts. It should have gone to them. Yeah.
You said she's making you think that people have control over you is wrong. I don't know if I got that for what she said. Maybe she means if you let them, or if you're not aware of the types of ways in which people can attach themselves to yourself, because a lot of people are unsure how that works, how manipulative different people can be. Maybe she means the manipulation of different ways in which people can affix itself to you, unbeknownst to you if you're not aware. And because some of us are in la la land, some of us love to love. And I remember I used to love, you know, just always had love in your head and in your heart. And you look at potential people that you date as being that way, and you find out the hard way that they were nothing like you imagined. Sometimes our imagination creates a situation that is not even there, or it makes the person a whole lot better than what they really are, because you have fallen in love with the idea of love and tricked yourself out of who that person really was with who you were fixating that thought process to. So sometimes that can also be our hang-ups ourselves. You said she has people running around here scared because she's scared. Yeah. In the beginning of this taping, it was a little bit frantic and it was concerning, but now it's a little bit bearable after the crows actually came. After the crows came, it seemed to temper her a lot better and made her kind of get into her own little her little zang, whatever. Zen and Zan. Is it Zen and you know what I mean? Anyways, let's go back.
Greetings, my brother. It's been a minute. Thank you so much. I can't even tell you how much it means to hear you guys saying stay strong. We here for you because, you know, we leave the States, but it's almost like you leave a piece of your heart because you don't want to leave the people you care about, but you know that your journey is taking you in the direction you need to go in. The journey brought me here to show what my family had done. I would not have been able to tell a story of what they had done and been there because these people took out a life insurance policy on me. So if I had revealed this truth in the States, they probably would have tried to take me out there. So I needed to be here. So then they hire someone in Africa to try to get to me here. But again, highly protected. I am here because God, Allah, Jehovah, whoever you represent that is holy and of the light, wants these firstborn rituals to end. Because when I tell you children are still being sacrificed here, they are still doing demonic sex rituals with these babies. I was at a turntable. They're pulling down everything at turntable. Bless you, brother. They pulling down everything at table. They knocked down all the vendors' sheds. They tore everything down. And I was like, wow, the one day I came out the house, I'm looking at these poor people sitting on the street. It reminded you of Harlem when they moved all the vendors off the street and people didn't have nowhere to go and they put them in a little spot. Except here, they didn't put them nowhere. They just tore their sheds down. They clearing up the street. So I said, wow, this must be a sign because I'm looking at the clouds. There's a lot going on in the clouds. Everything's being torn down around me. As I walk, I see something burning. So I'm like, what's burning? And I look and I see it's one of my favorite herbs. Those who know me know I walk around the Gambia pulling herbs all the time, right? So I looked and I saw the herb burning, but I couldn't get to it. So something was like, turn around. When I turn and look behind me, what did I see? I see a white van that says Flaming Bible Church. Y'all better stop playing with me. Who calls a church Flaming Bible? So I'm looking at this thing and I'm going, you know what? This is the same van I saw a few weeks ago that pulled up real close to me. And this young girl with a very short, tight dress got in the van. Nobody else got in the van but this one girl. I noticed that. And I almost said to the man, are you going to Senegambia? But something told me this was not a group trip. So I get to Senegambia and I see the van again, but the girl is not in the van. Flaming Bible Church. I'm like, I don't know about this. So when I saw that van yesterday or the day before.
That's what it sounds like, trafficking. It sounds like the van is probably setting up shop and doing what it do, and she's noticing weird things connected to these things. It is possible. Like I say, some of the stuff that she says, it is possible, especially if it is happening. Like, we do know that modern day, I don't think we really think about it though, that modern day slavery is really a phenomenon and that human trafficking really is going on. Hundreds of thousands of people around the world is involved in one way or another. And I'm pretty sure where there's no law and there's no real policing and there's no real investigating and there's no real this and that and the other, those places tend to get and gravitate to more of the darker things that people could get away with doing without having people trying to track you down as much. You said human trafficking is going on, but nobody wants to traffic her. Hey, she might be good for a kidney or two. You never know. I mean, I don't want to will that on her because that's not funny. But, you know, ain't no telling what someone has in mind, though. I'm not saying I'm saying that she might be noticing a pattern when she's out and about. She might be noticing people that are like characters in the play that's being played, with people partaking in that, or she might be imagining it. I don't know, but she has seen some things that does seem legit. I just don't know if all of it I could say I could believe, but some of this stuff is wild. This truck or van situation is kind of wild with the burning Bible. Flaming Bible.
So let me go ask these people about the name of this church, because God is telling me this ain't what you think this is. I walk up to the van. I said to the people, was nobody in the driver's seat. It was one girl, a young girl, sitting in the front of the van. I said, sis, is this, are you part of this church? She said, no, I'm not part of this church. I don't go to this church. I said, okay, well, you in the van, so I have a question for you. She said, what is it? I said, why is it, who names a church Flaming Bible? I'm struggling with that. She said, oh, I know, that could sound funny, but it's just, the people are flaming for the knowledge. I said, nope, not convinced. I said, all the names they could have picked out to be thirsty for knowledge. That sound like water to me. Y'all choose Flaming Bible? I said, I don't know. And I'm talking to her, and I can see her veins coming up her face real slow, like there's something under her skin.
Oh, no.
So I said to her, do you mind if I come around to your side of the van? She said, no, come. So when she came around, I said, sis, I'm a seer. She said, huh? I said, do you mind if I look at your hands? I looked at her hands, y'all. In her hands, I see a man whispering in a girl's ear. I said, I'm going to tell you something. You need to get far away from these people. You understand me? I said, if you're not a member of this church, I'm not really sure why you're in this man's van. You need to get away from these people because they put something on you. She said, oh, but this church is from Sierra Leone. I said, okay, even more reason. Like I said, you've been warned. As I'm walking away, this voice came over her and she says, can I have your phone number? I looked at her. I said, no, you can't. Bless you. And I walked away. Because my thing was, if you really wanted help, you'd been getting out the van when I told you somebody put something on you. So this is what we're dealing with. Let me look at the chat. Let me see.
She sometimes go rogue, don't she? She be going rogue and hard. No, you can't. Let me see what you guys are saying. You said, look at the sick demons that are around her. That's how you know she's gone. Yeah, the van story is crazy, Limelight. And what were they doing to the girl behind the van? I don't know. Trafficking? Girl, I know she thinks they want a sex traffic car. Kiki says, but they're not trafficking 50-year-olds. That's the problem. Hope the woman in the van is safe. She could be one of those fixated characters in the scheme. You know what I mean? Like she's there every day with the scheme of attracting people to the van. Who knows? You never know. Kiki says human trafficking is going on, but nobody wants to traffic her. Those kidneys look like sun-dried raisins. That's jacked up. You ain't right for that. You said, see, that is why I can't be a psychologist. I will put her out of my office and tell her she couldn't come back. You ain't going to help her? Come on now. She just needs a nice ear to lean on. You said, I scream so hard right now. You know I'm not lying. Man. Oh, she's being rogue, though. She's talking gangster-like right now. So she got her little her vibration going on, tough and strong. Whatever demon is in her is free flowing right here. Let's listen.
Oh, y'all sweet. Look, I'm doing your thing. I appreciate y'all. I do. I don't have a skin regimen, y'all. It must be the water. I'm telling you, I really don't. One of my favorite creams, though, which is probably the only thing I use on my skin here, is the what do you call it? Bao cream. In Gambia, they have bao, the fruit. They have bao juice, candy, all this kind of stuff. They have what they call bao cream. And it's like shea butter, but it doesn't have the smell. That's about all I use. Yes, that's it. So this is what I'm talking about. And brothers, I'm so happy to see the brothers in the chat, because I have to tell y'all, all the time I'm talking to the sisters, the brothers, y'all are needed for real, because I'm going to tell you, I've met a few brothers here, and nothing against my brothers from other places, but there's just some brothers that have a mentality that, you know what, I can't even say that. I'm going to tell you what I was going to say, and then I'm going to retract it. I was going to say there are some brothers who would not defend you if something happened right in front of them. You see what I'm saying? But there's sisters that are like that too. I know a sister from Amsterdam that another sister dragged her, beat her up in front of everybody. This is diasporans. And nobody did anything. She called me to tell me what happened to her. I'm like, what? There's no way, man or woman, me and you walking down the street together, and you get into a beef, and I'm going to stand there and watch.
Wow.
There's no way. Not when I got shoes, I got a pocketbook.
So somebody was getting beat up on, and everybody just let it happen. Wow, that's crazy. She got a lot of stories that be happening in the Gambia. Lord have mercy.
Boys, there's no way I'm going to let something happen to somebody that is in my presence. I don't understand that, how we could watch and view something like that. So I couldn't even just say it's brothers, because I see females do it too. So when I hear brothers saying, you good, sister, we got you, we respect you, we honor you, that's how I feel about my people. And that's why when I come on, I don't want to come on with the yah-yah and the gossip. I want to come on with the truth. And the truth is, this magic here is heavy. And THC, he could tell you what it is. Thank you for that tip, because I'm going to tell you what happened also. My family members hired a gang of cyber stalkers, and they were paying to have me shadow banned from YouTube. So I would post videos.
I wonder if that is possible, because how in God's green earth am I getting so many shadow bans? I'm so confused and perplexed on how such a small channel is getting so much emphasis to keep hitting, messed with continuously. It's bizarre. You said whoever played a shadow ban her YouTube. Whoever played. THC can tell you, because he knows traditional family spirituality. I know that they believe in other types of gods. Who are they playing? Who? What do you mean who? I'm tripping. Let me play some more of this.
I could see them, but nobody else could see them. So if y'all notice, all of a sudden, all my videos are coming up at once, it's because of shadow banning. People want to call it a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. There are people that have connections, and when you are talking about things that involve these religious organizations, the Illuminati, celebrities, you will find people will be blocking your content. And I told y'all, for me, when I went on and and said that my grandfather confessed to putting his firstborn grandchildren in sex rituals with the Episcopalian Church.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That was like playing that game Jenga and pulling out that little piece of wood. Because then everything started falling. Because now they got to explain, hold up. If he did that for fortune, where is the fortune?
Oh, Lord.
Who stole the fortune?
Oh.
Where's the wills? Where's the inheritances? Where's the court documents? Oh, now we got judges and attorneys involved? Well, where's the real estate? Oh, now we got real estate agents involved? We got people forging documents and wills? Oh, hold up. They sent out letters. You mean the post office is involved too? It doesn't get any better than the fact that my aunt was a postmaster. So she worked at the post office where my mother lived, and she controlled all of my mail for any court documents, any court notices, and had a whole crew every place I've ever lived to have my mail forwarded to her.
What?
So y'all know it's serious.
Wow.
They are not happy that I'm living my best life and that they couldn't put out some type of mark on me to get rid of me. So y'all are the first ones to hear this story before it go to the screen, okay? Because this some real Harry Potter, Indiana
You
Jones
ain't never lied.
stuff, okay? No,
She said Harry Potter. She ain't never lied. Harry Potter up in this bitch for real. Oh, shit. Indiana Jones and Harry Potter. I heard that. Now, that is a first. She is really, really going on and on. But again, some of this stuff can possibly be a reality unbeknownst to someone like us that's living out in the West, and we're so used to the ins and outs of our days. We don't consider other lives that's beyond America. I have been thinking about what is going on in other parts of the world because, now we're able to look and gauge, take a look at what people's travels look like and who they're hanging out with and the stories that they tell, stuff that they discover. It's a lot easier now to follow people's journey than as before. You just had to take their word for it as they tell you the story of what had happened. Now you can actually see a lot of things or feel a lot of what people are saying to you. It's just different on being on YouTube. A lot of this is really different. But I think that she's trying to be as transparent as possible. And I really think that she's trying to protect herself from any harm that may befall her because she don't want to take a chance with, something happening to her and she didn't have a say. I think that she wanted to make sure that she has on the record something because she feels strong enough about what she's saying for the most part. So I can't take that from her. You said before it go on the screen. I know she said that, didn't she? It needs to be a movie up with this bitch. Maybe she needs to start a new channel, Limelight says. She said her family is paying someone to shadow ban her. I said who? I think there's a way. I don't know if you are a content creator, if you can put a special request about a complaint about channels or something. Are you guys aware if there's something that you can do to indirectly get someone's channel into trouble as a content creator? Is there some type of maneuverings that you can do behind the scenes when you report somebody or whatever? Because some of this stuff doesn't make sense about how channels are being treated. Opening portals to darker energies, Limelight says. You said women going over there are suffering more spiritually than the men. Women are more likely to dabble in the African spirituality than men. I've noticed this pattern. Maybe they are opening portals. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense right there. They're using their empty-headedness to fill it up with something new. Women are more spiritual beings. Yeah, but some of them are empty-headed and they can fill their head up with whatever they want to fill their head up with. She's getting emboldened though as she's explaining this more and more, y'all. I'm noticing she's getting bolder and bolder. It's almost over. We got another 14 minutes and then it's over. So I'll actually be able to watch this whole thing. Let's go.
He could have told me that I would be experiencing this, that I would come to Gambia and be blessed. And when I tell y'all, like I said, I'm reading the Quran now. I read everything because there is knowledge that we ought to know. When I started having my experience with jinns, smoke jinns from other people, where did I learn about it? I learned from that in the Quran. I'd never heard of jinns before. I heard of genies, right? Like I love genie, stuff like that. But I never heard of like jinns. I would hear people talk about certain, like Muslims don't go to the ocean at night, right? Or they don't go, I think like on Fridays when everybody go to pray. Certain days they don't go because there's jinns in the water. But I never really knew what that meant. So I get it. I get it now and I understand it. And people use marijuana. They're smoking, although marijuana is medicinal and it's a sacred medicine. People are using it for spiritual practices. So you would be around a bunch of people smoking, thinking, well, I don't smoke, so this don't bother me. Honey, they casting spells with that smoke. Next thing you know, you digging in your pocket and you can't stop digging in your pocket till your accounts are empty. That's how they working it here.
Oh, shit. Dang. She said you emptying your pockets with that smoke. That smoke will get you to empty your pockets. Wow. That's some smoke right there. You said, let me go back up. You said she sounded like Veronica? You mean the way that her ideology was? I think they're close in age. I'm not quite sure how old she is or Veronica was, but you said that they sound a lot alike, or they sound alike. They sound alike. They need to leave that stuff alone. They shouldn't play with what they don't understand. I always was told not to dabble in all types of different things, because once you dabble in all kinds of different things, you won't make sense of nothing. And you'll just be debating within your mind different things all the time. I mean, it's good to get an introductory of stuff, to get a gist of what something's about. But I think that if you studied it, if I studied being a Muslim and Jewish, Christian, and some other stuff, it would be weird to, I don't know, you won't have an allegiance to something. You would just, I think that you would just not consider I think you would consider everything to be nothing. I don't know, it just too much knowledge is not always great. I don't know, that's just how I feel. The Quran is written in Arabic, lady. She says she can read it. Maybe she knows. She got a special gift. That's because it's Arabic for devil? So the Quran is not in a way where I could read it if I wanted to read it. It's actually in Arabic for real? I don't know if she's telling the truth then, but she just said that. Limelight says, whoever taught you that was smart for righteous. That is the same reason why they say you shouldn't have too many different teachers. Your mind will be in conflict. Yeah, I learned that from my first foster parents. The mom told me that. So that's why I only want an introduction to stuff. I don't really want, and you get an overall understanding of it, but you ain't gotta like know every tittle and title of it. It's like, come on, like for what? What is the benefit of knowing all of the things in which knowledge is supposed to tell you? Like the Garden of Eden, like people ate off the fruit, ate the apple, opened up their eyes to too much. And they never went back to living a simplistic life no more. Life just has been expanding, and it's been so complex, and it's been so wicked, and it's been so unpeaceful. Look at all these wars that we're witnessing, all these deaths that have transpired in just the last couple of years. Think about all the people that have lost their life due to COVID, due to Russia and Ukraine, due to now Israel and Palestine, due to the Congo, due to Sudan and other places. It's been horrific. And life is never going to go back to ever being simple again. Supposedly behind that eating of the apple, opening up your eyes, wanting the whole everything, have every knowledge of everything and do everything and have everything. You said, but she hasn't heard of jinn because it's an Arabic word. Oh, okay. See, I don't know. She could say anything to me. I would have thought it was written in English, the Quran. I didn't even know. Yes, they have English translations. Okay. Do the Gully have some Islamic Muslim affinity? Something passed down? I'm not sure. Let's wrap this up, though.
Oh, let me tell you, with these gens, you don't even have to turn off the lights. They in the tiles. You can look. I don't know if other people are having. Matter of fact, let me share with y'all so y'all know. If somebody sent a spell to you, right? Obviously, you stay prayed up. Yes, the genies are the jinns, exactly. But I think here they spelling it like D's in David, Jinns. So you will know it's the same thing as well. Yes, because I remember I love genie. I was talking about that earlier. Yes. So I was saying about if somebody's trying to send some type of harmful magic to you, the first thing you do is pray. You get your Bibles, your Quran, you are praying. And you are praying with conviction, right? Some people, they will do easy stuff like protection, burn a white candle with a piece of foil around it. That will send it back to the person. That's it. Some people do rosemary with salt with a candle. You know, these are things that you saw your parents doing as kids and you never really thought it meant or how powerful it was. But these are things. Some people put salt around their doorway, their window frames. Other people take a bowl of water with salt and put it under their bed. So if anybody tries to invade your dreams, or if you're having bad dreams, that will help. These things work, right? Just naturally they work. And understand that people can invade your dreams. They will come into your dreams to see what you are dreaming, what you are planning.
See, I'm not going to let her put that on me at all. In the name of Jesus, I rebuke that. Ain't nobody coming in my head looking and analyzing my dreams. God is the safekeeper of my dreams and what my mind is like, and I'm only going to accept him in control of my brain and who is around me. And have any type of effect is only because God allowed it. But not because they superseded my strength, because they were stronger. No, I will not put that on me or anyone that's listening. Like giving power to some other force. I'm not going to be in agreement to that.
You dream about the things you do. When you dream, you manifest. And there are people from these bad spiritual practices that know this, and they will try to come to your dreams. And I know y'all heard that when you are dreaming, never accept food from anyone. Don't eat no food in your dream. Okay? Don't do it. Right? That's part of the setup as well. Yeah. So it's deep. What I experienced, and I talked about this on my other channel, my spiritual.
Have you heard that before, Kiki? Don't accept food in your dream? Like, excuse me, I've never ever heard of such a thing. But enlighten me if there's a reasoning behind that, not eating in your dream. I've never heard that. That's weird.
Channel, Spirit Knocks for Brooklyn Mosaic, is people have tried all kind of spells. I have experienced image spells. So somebody can click your picture from YouTube. They would take it and put it in a freezer. They would, in a glass jar, in a freezer, to try to put you on pause. They will take it, bury it underground, like crazy stuff that I never knew people did. They will do beauty magic, mirror magic, where they're trying to take your beauty. I'm telling you, I'm just like, what? People do this? It only came to my attention recently that people do things like this. But my heart is so clear, so clean, that I don't have these issues with people. When they try to send these things, they cannot attach. See, the only way these spells, these curses can really attach to you is if you have unresolved trauma. So if something happened to you that you can't remember.
Who don't have unresolved trauma? That's dumb. Of course, people have unresolved trauma as young as a kid, as early as a toddler or whatever. All ages in between and then some. Of course, there's undue trauma that has not been healed. It could be your body not healed. It could be your mind. It could be your spirit. It could be a number of reasons why. That is, she's putting an expectation on someone that is impossible for them to be able to accomplish. Meaning we're hopeless. We're subjected to the woes of whatever this wicked world is going to have happen to us. She's putting a little spin on what she's talking about right here. Now she's giving honor and praise to the devil. I rebuke you. She's done turned and being a demon right here. Let's listen.
That curse or spell will have something to latch onto, that weakness. So clear your heart. Get aligned, stay prayed up, eat well, right? That's what you have to do, you know? It's that deep. And like I said, if it's not good, it's not God, it's not the Most High, it's not the divine. It's only one of the other. It's either good or it's bad. I used to think there was this gray area and all these things in between. There really isn't, you know? There really isn't. So I just want y'all to be blessed, blissful, and to let people know when they come in here. I did a video probably before I even came to Gambia where I talked about.
She said be blessed and be blissful with hearing what she done stated. What in the world she mean be blessed and be blissful? How is it possible with the realm of reality in which she's living in? How is it possible that she can have this blissful and blissful life for her own damn self? Talking in the way she's talking. Now, this is just a little bit strange. There can never be no blissfulness and blessedness up in a situation in which she's talking on. And yet she's making it seem so nonchalant. It's no big thing. You know, nothing about leaving the Gambia. Nothing about fleeing from the Gambia so that she could be spared. She ain't got to go where she lives or used to live with her family if that's somewhere she feels where it's not safe. But she can go somewhere new. She can go somewhere new. And I find it odd that she's not going anywhere. At least I don't think she said that she's going to be leaving anytime soon to go to America.
People like coming prepared, like come prayed up, come with your faith in place, because Africa is not a place for people who really think they can move by themselves and they don't need to connect and they don't need to network, especially as a woman. Really, you're unprotected. Ain't no 911 to call. Ain't no ambulance. You hear about sisters getting slapped down to the ground and for running their mouth because they can't move here like they move in the West. You just can't. I've told people I don't agree with things that they do, but y'all ain't never hear about me getting into a beef with nobody. The one time I had a problem with somebody was someone who tried to steal from me, and it was a woman from, where was she from? Liberia, right? But she was mad because she thought she could come and steal from my shop, and I was just going to let her do what she wanted. I was like, no, you're not. So she came back with a toy cop, and I wasn't having it. I'm like, where's your paperwork? You don't look official to me. Get your paperwork, come back with a police officer, and then I will talk to you. That was the only problem I had. Really, I don't have...
Again, she kind of glossed over the fact that women are getting their ass whooped in the Gambia. She's letting it be known that men will lay hands on you there in the Gambia. There's no one that's going to be called to save your ass in the Gambia. And that's something that Black American women really need to think thoroughly about, because we are not used to walking and talking softly. Not to say that we can't learn to talk and walk softer if it merits a blessing behind it, if it merits some protection behind it. It has to merit something that makes us feel kind of comfortable to let our guards down. And so far, environments are not conducive for us to let our guards down. We can't act all prissy and sweet and nice and, all dainty and shit, because life is not dainty. Life is not allowing us to be dainty. Not like that. Not no more. I digress. You said, there is so much to analyze from what ANJA said in the last 3 minutes. She said a lot. You said Idra said it, another Hotep hustle game. The risk of witchcraft can't be that bad. I know that's right. The risk of poison can't be that bad. So the stalking can't be that bad. She doesn't. It's all for show. Like I said, if half the stuff that she's been talking on, there's no way I could stay in the Gambia. First and foremost, knowing that you can't even go out to have a casual, comfortable, clean, and, just carefree dinner, lunch, breakfast. You don't want to cook every day. You want to go out sometime and splurge on yourself. And now you got to wonder if someone's poisoning your shit because they were paid by her ex, whatever he is or whatever he was. But that's not all. She keeps going on and on about all these things that people are trying to do to her, and the witch lady and the family back home, the ex-boyfriend. Everybody's got this conspiratory thing against her. They all are in cahoots with one another. And she still don't think that she needs to leave. I don't think that she should go where she's from, but she could go somewhere right nearby just so that she can handle her business and get things in order, maybe sell some stuff from where she's at. That's crazy, though. You said, man will lay hands on you, period, in Africa. That's what I know. That's why I'll never go. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. People talking about it's much more peaceful in Africa. Use a goddamn lie. You said, I'm afraid it is going to get worse when ANJA. I wish her safety. Like I said, it is kind of weird to me that nobody from the Gambia is replied on this video. This video has been up for how long now? For about a week. Let me see. This video's been up for 6 days. Nobody has said anything commenting on what she's saying. She's saying explosive stuff about witchcraft and dark magic, about a great number of people in the community all working together to stalk her, harass her. It's crazy. And she still is staying. So why would women want to go to Africa if men lay hands on you, period, in Africa? Why in God's green earth would American women want to go or need to go to Africa? For what purpose? Again, you have to be able to play the part of a very feminine woman. I'm not playing the part, so I ain't going. That's it. You said, I'm surprised no one jumped on the chance to talk about this as well. It was spooky from the start to finish. Exactly. But it must be some truth in it, because ain't nobody saying anything about it. It's kind of bizarre, ain't it? You said, look on her channel and see the problem. She's had in the Gambia problem after problem. Kiki says, she's such a liar. Look at my channel and see what she does. She said a whole lot. You said, hey, talk about the interview she did with that guy. Let's talk about that video. He said she seen aliens in the Gambia. Let me wrap this up, though, first. It's almost over.
We have problems with the brothers here, because I understand that culturally there's a different expectation for how people expect to be spoken to. You don't be raising your voice. You don't be snapping your neck. You don't cut people off and don't let them talk, because that's not something that's done here. Even to say goodbye is like a half-hour thing. I'm just learning to be patient and hear people out, and then I will kindly...
Saying goodbye is a half an hour thing. Hell no, I gotta go. Oh no. Oh no. She said saying goodbye is a half an hour thing. Wow. You said, first of all, she is slightly misogynist. You think so? Aliens, though. She's saying that the women can't be snapping their necks. They can't be getting all loud. I'm not saying that I would be loud, but I wouldn't want no guy to be challenging me because for the sake of he's a man and I'm in Africa. Oh, hell no. Let's go.
To them that their way of thinking is not my way of thinking, and why it doesn't work for me. And I appreciate if they would respect that. So I don't have the same kind of challenges that other people do, you know? It is what it is. Thank you for that. Yeah, you know, it's weird because I had someone come to my home, and at that time, I believe someone had sent some jinns, some insect jinns, if you will, like roaches, right? And there was a moisture problem, and it was a few, like you turn on the light, you would see 2 or 3 on the counter. But me, I don't walk around killing bugs because I'm not on it like that. I would get my dustpan and throw them outside. Like, I know y'all laughing, but I literally will open my door 3 or 4 times just to throw a roach outside. Like, I'm not going to kill them. I'm just not. There's moisture problems in the Gambia. We got geckos. We have all these little things. But all of these things can be considered jinn, something sent to monitor you. I don't care about no geckos. As long as you ain't crawling on my bed, I'm cool. You want to be in the kitchen? Be in the kitchen. You know, I'm fine. So I had a guest who was staying with me, and this individual was like outraged. Oh, I can't deal with this. You need to clean up. You need to do this. And then I said, no, I'm not killing them. I don't want to do that. Cleaning is one thing, but you talking about getting roach sprays and exterminators, and no, I don't want to do that. I don't want that kind of energy in my home that I'm walking around killing things left and right. That's a spirit when you want to do that. See, we don't realize that. This individual didn't really get it. So after this individual left, I happened to be looking one day at this candle, and this image came up on the wall. And what was it? It was a roach like this.
Oh no.
I'm so serious, y'all. She was smiling at me. So I said, okay, Spirit, y'all got jokes. Y'all got jokes. It was like, you knew. We was testing you. Sometimes you will get tests like that. You can have the dirtiest homeless person come up to you from the beach. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. I had some perfume and I was like, I really need to get rid of this perfume. And I put it to the side. I walk outside and a lady that always bathes naked, people get upset because she's an elder, but I think she's, a little mentally challenged. She's always talking to herself. She comes up from the beach and she looks at me and I said, sister, you have clothes? Can you use more clothing? I have some items that are too big for me. If you want them, I will get them for you. She said, yes, I would love that. She said, and get the perfume too. Come on now. Come on. I just smiled. Because we get tested all the time. There'll be angels around you. There'll be prophets around you. You get tested for your integrity. And God is always looking to your heart. And this is the part people forget. Sometimes we get so stuck in our ego, we forget what it is to just be good, to just do the right thing because it's the right thing. And
she said the roach was smiling at her. Oh, I think the dog statement, though, was still the funniest part. It kept jumping off on his back whenever the guy spoke. That was funny, too. But the roach cocked on the side, chin on the side, and he's looking with her smiling at her. This has been something else. Like I said, there's some things that she said, it is reminiscent to the truth to me. I feel that it's bizarre that the Gambians are not saying anything or anyone is speaking about what this spirit realm of, because a lot of people swear by voodoo or they smell, Lord, or they declare that, this African spirituality is way better than Christianity and all these other things. And then you're pretty much hearing someone pretty much clown or expose the darkness of those type of thought processes, and no one is speaking up and saying, hey, this is not true, or this is somewhat true, but this is the part that you should know, and this is the part that's garbage on what she done said. No one's saying anything. It's really strange how Africans do have a lot to say about Black Americans every day, every opportunity, but when it comes to themselves, they are hums the word, unless it's something good. If it's something good, they want to brag about it. They want to talk about it long-winded like. But when something happens, they don't have nothing to say. Just for instance, the situation in Ghana with the dam spillage, it displaced 30,000 people about a month or so ago. This dam was deliberately, manually manipulated to spill, which resulted in investments in housing, buildings, 30,000 people displaced. Not one Ghanaian mentioned anything about the dam spillage. Not one Pan-African talked about this dam spillage of Ghana. Accra, Ghana. No one talked about it because it would make Ghana look like you should not invest in Ghana the same way that I look at it. And they concealed that information and not say nothing as if it never, ever happened. But let something happen in America. Let something happen to one person that's American, and you're going to hear a chorus of people speaking about us. But when it comes to them, that's why this is another prime example of them just being fake. They can't speak up about someone speaking on their religion or their spirituality. It's very interesting. Kiki, isn't that odd, or is it just me? You said what? She can live with rats and CR. The dog situation was wild. I'm trying to get a visual of it. Every time the man spoke, the dog just fell out on his back. he just fell out on his back. Can we all just agree she needs to leave the Gambia? Like, what the hell is going on with her? She's battling men, women, white bands, and roaches. Well, no, she wasn't battling the roach. The roach was her friend. The roach was trying to kick it. The roach was just kicking it. But I really want to challenge the Africans, because this is not a normal story. And for people that practice the African spirituality, that profess to be in the black magic or whatever you call it, voodoo, I'm not quite sure what all the other ones are, but no mention, no critique, no outrage, no disgust, not a peep. It's like y'all all know simultaneously not to speak on things. It's really odd. You said, I don't even want to know what a smiling roach looks like. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they're going to speak up about what she had to say, because she had an awful lot to say. I'm going to wrap this up. She got 4 more minutes to go. Let's see if she talked more about that roach.
Not expect anything in return. It's that simple. I love everybody. I don't necessarily like the things that people do, but I have a general love for people because I love my people. Whether they're doing good or bad, I know that there is a lesson in that, right? Either how far you came or how far you still need to go, what you accepting in your life or what you're not accepting. Yes. But you know something about ego that we it's not always bad, because ego is that thing that protects you as well. You know, ego is that thing that when you want to try something new, your ego be like, don't do that. You don't know how that's going to work out. Like, it serves as a protection mechanism, right? Yes, that's it. Balance, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it is. That's what it is. And so when we know that, we are able to really look at ourselves and do our inner work. And this is why I say, generally, I don't dislike people. If you do something I don't like, we can address it in a moment and move on. Yeah. And if I'm wrong, I can say I'm wrong. I misunderstood. I misinterpreted. I didn't have the right information to make this judgment, and I generally don't do that. Like, if I'm doing something, it's because this is my experience, right? But we all have our own interpretations of what that experience is based on our conditioning, based on what we've experienced, right? So as y'all know, or you may not know, some of the abilities that I have come into contact with here in the Gambia, and this is why I'm able to be safe here. Since coming to the Gambia, I'm able to see auras around people. I'm able to see when people are indulging in illicit sexual behavior. So I can look at someone and tell if they are a sex offender. I can look at someone and tell if they have a demon on them or a spirit.
She needs to be working for the CIA and the FBI if she's able to do all of that, right? It's crazy.
I can look at people and tell them what their medical challenges are just by looking at them. And so that's why when I'm looking at TikTok and I see all these babies, I'm like, that baby has the mark of the demon on his head, but can't nobody else see it. So I'm calling out their parents because I know that their parents have sacrificed them.
Dang, the baby had the mark of the demon on his forehead. Oh, no. Now she's become unraveled again. She made sense for about good 15 minutes or so, and then she kind of went right back to crazy mode.
It's some type of demonic sex ritual for wealth and money. Plenty birds here, okay? Plenty. That's the other thing with the birds. You know, they say birds are the messengers of God because they fly the highest to the heavens. And there have been times when I'm walking in nature that a bird will come and land on a particular herb for me to take that herb. And then
All right now. So that concludes what she had to say. She had an awful lot to say. I'm really, again, shocked that this video's been up for 6 days. The only criticism that I see in here is this. Let me read this comment by Elaine Ballard, which reads, "What's deep is you see the level of demonic surrounding you, yet choose to stay instead of taking heed to all the warnings. I don't get it." That's the only one. Everybody else is talking about, hey, sis, thanks the Most High for your protections. Happy companion, hey, sis, I just made a live regarding this live. Thanks for sharing your wisdom and experience. Sounds so familiar. Thanks for the enlightenment. I know exactly what you're talking about when you're speaking of waiting area. It's called the Jehannam. In Islam, it's believed to be hell. But Judaism, Jehannam is a waiting place where one goes to be cleansed before they go to the final place. If the person has committed wrongful acts too attached to material things, etc., the time spent there will vary. Wow. My father is from Barbados with Portuguese heritage. So nobody had nothing but one person that had something to say. Everybody else, for the most part, is in agreement with what she did. And I'm just astonished that a total of 553 people have seen this video so far today. And no Gambian is outraged. No African is outraged. Nobody's saying anything to respond. Like I said, they apparently have something to hide. That's why they're hiding. So that's kind of wild. You said because her and THC on the same level. You think so? You think he practices the same type of thing? I don't know. But I'll never forget what she said, and I hope that other people will not be as dumb as her to feel like she's feeling and still deal with what she's intending to deal with. Because like I said, we know, Kiki, that there have been some unalived single women which will never know why they really truly passed on, but they're indeed suspicious deaths. And she knows all those women too well to understand that she could be next. But I think, in all honesty, she was playing her cards as best she could with, if she really felt like something imminent was about to happen, she wanted to make sure that she made a statement before something happens to her, which is kind of smart. In a way, I think it's kind of smart. But this is not the main live that I was intending to do. I wanted to come back, if not later today, probably tomorrow, and talk about the migrant situation and talk about just random things that I have been wanting to talk on, but haven't gotten around to doing so. This was just kind of a follow-up on the last video that I did. I never finished watching the rest of her video because I was spent the first time I heard the little bit that I heard, which was like 40 minutes into the taping. it was just a lot of unbelievableness that she was levying out. Baby sacrifices and sex rituals and human trafficking, witchcraft, black magic, spells, curses, and man, I have never heard so much from one person all at once. And she didn't hardly take a break or breath in the beginning that she told this, but now she's gotten a lot better talking. I hope people will respond to what, this video is about. I'm only responding off of what she's been talking on. And like I said, I believe maybe 55% of what she's saying. And the other part is just speculation. And she kind of like twisted it up a little bit to magnify the devil or the darkness a little bit. So she kind of like did a flip right there. And I caught it. But so I would not take any spiritual advice from ANJA. I would not take everything that she said literal as far as your dreams. If you've been dreaming and you never had problems dreaming, then keep dreaming. Don't let someone stifle your sleep because they're putting fear in you. Because some of that stuff that she was saying, it could have been taken as fear. She talking about if you have any unfinished business, then these things could attach itself to you. Who doesn't have unresolved issues of their past, unresolved trauma? So that right there was of the devil to me. And I hope that she would just get some help, seek some professional conversations to gauge maybe the stressor of her being in the Gambia is too much and that she needs to let go. But I understand her like maybe dreaming of coming to Africa for so long, and you again fixed in your mind a better fantasy for Africa than what the reality of it is in real time. And so now she just needs to divorce, I guess, the idea of Africa before she can finally let go. But she needs to get there. You said, yes, fear, not necessarily panic, which is why I think she is staying put. You think it's fear? You think someone threatened her if she leaves? I don't know. I don't think they would let her speak on camera if they really threatened her. So I don't think someone threatened her outright. I think they might have just been having looky-loos and people whispering and doing some weird stuff like that. Let me see. So I really appreciate everybody for coming out. I'm going to play a little beat on my way out the door. I was going to play a song, but I don't want to take a chance to get a copywritten thing because YouTube has really been tripping off of my videos lately. At least they're allowing me to now see my videos with it not being blurred. I'm not sure how long that's going to go for, but at least that has been allowed back. At least let me check right now. It's been allowed back for I don't know how long. But yeah, I'm able to see now the videos. It's kind of odd. So anyways, if you have not yet, please do me a favor by liking the video, subscribing to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And let's listen to a little beat on the way out.
thought you